great. It's great. A little overwhelming, but it's exciting. Well, it's not so much an origin tale. In the beginning of our first installment, you have to establish who the character is, and as a result, it can be slow setting up a plot. So this movie, you get to dive right in.
I haven't seen it yet. I waited for Paris. We got to see a little bit of Natasha's backstory in Avengers, and we'll see more of her backstory in Avengers 2. This time we really got to see who Natasha is as a person.
This story is set in the present day. It's the first Marvel movie to be totally dedicated to Captain America in the present day. The first Captain America movie was back in World War II. The Avengers was present day, but he was part of an ensemble and didn't get to focus entirely on his character. So this movie we're very excited about because we get to tell his story finally.
Yeah, it was really a function of the tone. It's based on the work by Ed Brubaker. And that work had an espionage, sort of paranoid thriller tone to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is Marvel. What Marvel's doing with these movies by having this sort of interconnected universe of movies is really unprecedented. And it's great fun for us. It's great fun for the fans. And we're happy to have done a small part of it now.
Coming up on the drop zone, Cap.
You do anything fun Saturday night?
Well, all the guys in my barbershop quartet are dead, so no, not really. Gear up. It's time.
Marvel gave him a true background. They made him military ops. They gave him the ability to fly through a military program and really made the Falcon kind of a code name as opposed to his actual name. So I'm glad that they went with that. Well, with Sam, they basically connect on the idea that they were both in war and came home and dealing with the ramifications of, waking up every morning knowing that you lost a loved one, a comrade in battle. Sam works at the VA. He counsels and helps soldiers that have come back from war. And he kind of draws Cap into that. So Cap realizes that he's not out there on an island on his own. He realizes that other people have the same dreams and the same problems that he has.
He's feeling pretty good about himself in the fact that he's convinced them that, superheroes can work and that, the world can be made a safer place because they're there. And he's gotten, like I said, he's convinced these guys that they can do all this stuff and get things done. But, Captain America's still not real, sure about how we run things or how Big Brother has actually come to fruition. Well, he didn't know anything about Big Brother anyway, but how the government has intruded into everyone's lives and that people's freedoms are being sort of infringed upon. So he's having his moment, so we're trying to bring him into an understanding of what's going on.
I'm playing Agent 13, and we're sort of introducing her as this up-and-coming agent, clearly very hard worker, really passionate about what she's doing here. I did really enjoy sort of watching their journey in the comic books, which is also interesting because it's different in each comic book. So for me, it was all about pulling, the stuff that I loved from each different comic book and from their relationship, and just trying to incorporate some of that into who, into who I'm playing in the film.
We really wanted to put Steve with some of the other S.H.I.E.L.D. characters, and Black Widow was the obvious choice. They have a great dynamic in the comic books. What time they spent together in the final battle of Avengers was very good, and they had a good rapport together. We wanted to see more of that, explore more of that. In our meetings with the Russo brothers, I was a huge fan of their work on Community, a huge fan of their work on Arrested Development, and in meeting with them, knew that they had, I had a hunch that they had it in them to really, really elevate one of our properties. They loved the idea that we were presenting to them, this 70s political thriller, the much more contemporary, much more grounded superhero story.